Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. And today I'm going to do an unboxing of some vinyl that I got in the mail this last couple days. In fact, I got just a new one today. I believe they're all from Garrett from SoundLab Studios. I know he told me he was sending me some vinyl, and so very excited, very happy that I get more vinyl. Of course, I really love collecting more. I'm starting to get there. I still got a long ways to go on collecting, but definitely love getting vinyl and listening to it and enjoying all these albums anyway. So thank you a lot to Garrett from SoundLab Studios. I really appreciate you, man, for doing this for me. And this Sunday, I'm going to be on SoundLab Studios at 4:30 Central Standard Time with, I believe, Garrett, I believe Nick and Briar are going to be there, and we're going to rank the Simon and Garfunkel albums, which there are 5, so it's a pretty easy ranking to say. I mean, at least compared to their Beach Boys. I saw their Beach Boys took almost 3 hours, I think, or over 2 hours at least, to do 28 albums. So it's a lot easier to do 5. So yeah, I've definitely been listening to them a lot lately, and really love Simon and Garfunkel, one of my favorite groups. So that'd be exciting. But let's get to some unboxing of some vinyl here. And I actually kind of know what he sent me. He told me, but let's see. All right. Here we got Cosmo's Factory from CCR / Creedence Clearwater Revival. Yeah, this is one he told me he was sending me, which is amazing because this is my favorite. We did a ranking of all the CCR albums recently. I guess here's the. It looks like it's blue. At least the label is. Maybe it's black. Yeah, it's black with a blue kind of label thing. Okay. Fantasy label. Yeah, we did a ranking of CCR's albums. Of course, this was number 1 for me, and I've talked about it on my top 100 favorite albums list. Definitely like a great album, and also it's like one of those albums where it seems like it's a greatest hits album of the band. And CCR is definitely a band I've really enjoyed, and especially since I've listened to all their albums, you know, when I did the ranking some weeks ago. Definitely really appreciate them even more. And they only made 7 albums, so they didn't really make that many albums. And for me, like 4 of the 7 I thought were really good albums. And this is definitely number 1, Cosmo's Factory. That's pretty cool. I love the picture here, the band. I think that's John Fogerty right back there. I think that's his, maybe that's his, I know there's a bass player and his brother's in there. They all kind of look somewhat similar. They got the long scraggly hair. But Cosmos was somebody's name, and that's where they maybe played, and so they called it the Cosmos Factory because that's where they rehearsed, I think. Anyways, but yeah, iconic kind of picture there, and then we got the back. It's kind of cool. We got different pictures of the band members, and we get the track listing on the back there. Like I said, it has so many amazing songs on here. Traveling Band, kind of one of their classics. Looking Out My Back Door, really great. Run Through the Jungle, obviously has like a Vietnam War type feel to it. And then my favorite is probably Up Around the Bend, the first track on side 2. Absolutely love that song. And then Who'll Stop the Rain, really great song. And I heard Through the Grapevine, 11 minutes and 5 seconds. One of the longest songs I've ever heard, but yet it has such a great groove to it. I actually enjoy that song. A lot of people are like, it should be shorter. I'm like, yeah, it could be shorter and be great, but I don't mind 11-minute song. It's like, I'm just like, yeah, I'm loving this bass and the main bass line or whatever, and the electric guitar solos, like 3 of them in there, and they're really good. And then Long As I Can See the Light, to finish the album, really great song. I mean, there's like 7 songs on here that belong on the greatest hits album. That's what's so crazy, and that's why this is, to me, the best Creedence Clearwater Revival album anyway. So yeah, so thanks a lot, Garrett. This is definitely one that I really wanted to get into my collection. So glad I got that now. I don't have to worry about going out and getting it myself. All right, got another box here. I just got this not too long ago, just like an hour ago or something. Heard the dogs barking, so I knew something was going on. And usually that means a delivery person coming to our doorstep. And sure enough, I saw a UPS guy out there or something, and saw this at the doorstep. Now, Cosmos Factory was an album that he actually told me that, yeah, he was going to send me. And then he was going to send me kind of a, then he did tell me he's sending me a kind of a bonus album, kind of a surprise album. I mean, how can I say Garrett's such a nice guy that I feel so bad because I haven't really sent people stuff except for Adam from What the Gym. I sent him some CDs, but it's like, I don't know. I feel bad I haven't sent enough stuff to other people, and people send me stuff, and I'm like, man, people so generous, and I'm just so I don't know, humbled by that and the generosity of everybody. But he got me a Who's Next album, which if you saw my video this last week, with my Christmas money that I got from my parents, I went and bought 3 albums, and one of the albums was Who's Next, because that's one of my favorite albums. Favorite Who album, and yeah, one of the greatest rock albums, and definitely a big one on my list of like albums to get on vinyl that I really wanted to get, and so I was so happy. But yeah, and then after I got it, he's like, "Oh, I sent you Who's Next," so now I got 2 copies of Who's Next. Obviously, Garrett, he knows more about buying records than me. I just go to Walmart or Amazon and buy whatever I can buy for not very much money because I don't want to spend a lot of money on this stuff. But and it's fun just to collect it. I mean, it's fun to listen to it, obviously, but obviously I can listen to a lot of it on Spotify, but it's fun to collect it. But yeah, there's the record there. See there. Yeah, but of course what Garrett's good at is he knows like which ones to buy, like what version, and he knows how to, I don't know, he knows how to get like the originals basically. I think I just buy, like I said, whatever I find at this, like the one I bought, Who's Next, I bought at Barnes and Nobles. I just went to Barnes and Nobles and found a Who's Next album and bought it. And I don't know a lot about how that all works, except there's like originals from the day that came out, and then there's, you know, reproduction ones, I guess, and maybe the ones that came out in the time period that they came out are like better and better sounding than the reproductions. Anyway, so all of my stuff is, you know, I know it's like all reproduction stuff basically. So I mean, I know he sent me like an original like one or something. As you can see, it's like really beat up the cover here. It's bent. Of course, that could be because of the packaging, or I mean, the delivery. I don't know, but it's definitely like very beat up, bent, and all that stuff. And you can tell it's old. You can tell it's an older copy. So very, you know, still so grateful to you, Garrett, for sending me this. And I'll definitely give it a listen. I listened to the other one just the other day. And so I'll give this a listen. So I'm guessing this is supposed to be a better quality, maybe. I don't know as much about that kind of stuff. I know as Garrett does. It even has that old smell to it, but it's really cool. I mean, I definitely will keep it, obviously, because it's, you know, somewhat more historic because of the originality to it. And yeah, even the cover, yeah, it doesn't look quite as glossy looking as the one I have. Anyway, so I love that authenticity that it has on there. So definitely will keep it with the other one. So thank you a lot, Garrett, for that. 2 really great albums. I can't argue. They're one of my favorite albums. So, and they're best albums of those bands, in fact. So, very great because I got so much. Of course, I feel like I'm such a new collector. I just started collecting this last year. I mean, less than a year ago, maybe 6 months ago, I started collecting. So I'm up to like, I don't know, this will make maybe 25, 26 vinyls that I have, not including the 20 some CDs I've been buying. So still feel like I have a lot more to collect anyways. And I keep listening to new albums that I really enjoy. That I'm like, oh, I didn't know this album was so good. Now I got to put this on my list of albums. So I got this long list of albums I want to get at some point. But obviously, you know, money's starting to get a little bit tight after Christmas because I, you know, spent money on it during Christmas time. So I kind of feel like I need to probably scale back on buying stuff. But yeah, it's so addictive once you start buying vinyl and CDs and stuff. It's hard to not keep buying stuff because you want to keep adding to your collection, and there's just so many stuff that you love and you want to get. And so we'll see how much I'll start buying here in the near future. I might scale back a little bit more until I feel like I got more money in my bank account. So we'll see. But yeah, thank you, Garrett. And just, yeah, comment. What do you think? Obviously, you've seen the Who's Next already on there, but Cosmos Factor is a new one for me. I mean, buying wise. And yeah, and just if you haven't gone to SoundLab Studios, definitely check his channel out. He's so smart on music. I'm always so impressed with him, and like Nick are incredibly smart people that have so many albums that I'm like, I didn't know these albums existed. These are pretty cool. And so yeah, subscribe to SoundLab Studios if you haven't. Check his content out. Especially, I'm gonna be on there Sunday, so watch that. And we're gonna talk about great bands, Simon Garfunkel. So that should be a good time. Sunday at 4:30 Central Standard Time. So yes, so thank you, and thank you to everybody for watching this and liking it, and thank you to all the subscribers for supporting the channel. I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a good day.